How we doing, everyone? Welcome back to another video, another installment of Our First Home. Today is November 6th. We got Amanda up in the house. It's a Saturday night. This is what we do. We had some food. Can't remember where we went.
Home Depot.
Went to Home Depot. What did we eat before that? Caliente. Fantastic. Short-term memory loss, terrible thing. Anyway, this is where we're at. Just a quick update because we're gonna try to bust out some stuff here. And I wanted to show this before we got too deep into it. This is our current state of affairs here in the office to be. This is the bed because this used to be Amanda's room when she lived here, and we're not gonna move this bed in order to do, the painting and all that. I ripped up the carpet and stuff the other day in previous episodes. I ripped up the quarter round. And Amanda's having trouble.
I think these are tiny dead bugs.
Tiny dead bugs, apparently, in the window.
Oh.
Ew, okay. Alright, that's nasty. Yeah, you just clean them up, yeah. Tiny dead bugs? Okay. I don't know.
They're dead. I think they're dead bugs.
Okay, apparently there's dead bugs. Just an idea here of kind of what we're doing. Floors, as good as it is right now. Amanda, when we got here, she cleaned out the closet there of her stuff in there. What we need to do in our mission here tonight is it was going to be to try to use this sander here to kind of sand some of this trim. But I don't know if that's going to happen because I tried using the sander and I just don't know how to sand. So that's probably not that difficult. I'm just probably making it more complicated than it is. It does seem like it is making it a little rougher, which I guess is the point, but I'm probably not going to start there. I tried to do it, probably just going to wait. I will be back here tomorrow with my dad. We'll be doing some other stuff. I'll probably try to work on that as well. But I started just a little bit here in the corner, painting the ceiling. You can probably barely kind of see it. Obviously the ceiling's kind of already white, but we had this same situation over the other thing. We're making everything the same color. So this side is, the walls are kind of like almost like a grayish color. So that's the point. Whole point of this clip here is just to say this is where we're at currently. Take a good look because it's not going to look like this the next time you see it probably, because we're going to paint these walls, we're going to paint this ceiling. It's going to be awesome. Okay, a couple hours later, we are in the room that we just showed you, and it is not the same as it once was. It is white. Very nice. I don't know if I talked about the sanding thing. I think I did. Let's mention a couple things here. Obviously, we still have some work to do on the edges and such. But we wanted to get paint on the wall. We're going to kind of cover up, go over a couple, parts again. Kind of not really with the second coat. I would call it like 1.5 coat, this Bear Marquee stuff, when you have this, very textured wall thing going on here. But Amanda did a great job. She did a lot of the middle pieces. I kind of came in, hit the little bit of the edges with a tinier roller. I'll just show you this real quick. So I tried to sand this. You can kind of see it's a little duller than a piece like this, like a little, I guess, shinier or whatever. And I was, kind of having a little bit of trouble with the sander, but like the point is that I sanded this right here, and then I just threw some paint on it just to see. And then over here is a not sanded part just to kind of see the difference. But I screwed it up anyway, so it doesn't really matter. The point is that I'm still not sure if we're going to sand every bit of wood that's in these rooms. It's a lot of sanding. Might be the right thing to do, but I don't know. But we just wanted to get something done. So we did the walls, and then I did the ceiling as well. And there's definitely, you can see it in the video here, pieces that I kind of missed. I hate painting ceilings, and I did a terrible job on this one. But I'm going to kind of run back through some of those as well. It's so weird on ceilings. It's like flat, but you can definitely see it in certain light, like the shadows and shit. So I'm definitely gonna run back through that, but we're getting there on this room. We're happy that if we get this piece done, and we have the the walls and everything painted, deal with this trim and doors and all that, then maybe, just maybe, we could start laying the floor. So, we're gonna go get milkshakes because we work so hard. And I will probably talk to you tomorrow because my dad is coming and we're gonna do some more fun electrical or HVAC or some sort of something. Stay tuned. All right, today is November 7th. It is a Sunday. Worked all day at the restaurant, my grandmother's restaurant from, like 8 to 1 or 2 or whatever. Busy as hell, probably the busiest day ever. So that was great. Then I came to the house and my dad came over and we did some things like, again, stuff that like I'm not really great at. Asked him a lot of different questions and stuff like that. I'll try to give some, pass that knowledge along or whatever. In my hand here is a covered plate. We're gonna chat about a couple of the things that we did. We got a few little things set up and we gotta make some more, progress once we're here for a little longer. We're only here for about, I don't know, maybe 4 hours max. But just still trying to there's a lot of projects, a lot of small to medium, I would say medium size tasks, projects that we need to do. And they all culminate to the bigger thing. So first thing, that actual item that we wanted to tackle was I bought a cover plate like this, and I bought one of these outlets down here. I think this is called a Decora style. I don't know. It's just different than the ones that have, two separate little guys. I don't have one around here to show you, but you know what I'm talking about. So what we did here was we took that one out because this wasn't even live, because last time he was here, we did some stuff with those switches up there and some stuff in the attic. The wiring in this house is weird, but basically what we have now, just to recap over here, is we have 3 switches. This light switch right here doesn't do anything because there's nothing there right now, but when we put a light fixture there, it will do that. This light switch right here does lights in the attic, and there's also an outlet and everything, but we'll touch on that. And this one in the middle, still don't know what it does. Maybe one day we'll figure that out. But for now, that's fine. This is I would call 90%. Most of this stuff, I bought a nice little cover plate here for this, but there's a good chance that we're gonna change this. Also, I was told that I need to make these vertical, the screws, rather than horizontal. So again, we're not totally done, but we're getting there. Look back to this for a second. So a couple things here. First of all, this box is extremely shallow, kind of a pain in the ass. Pretty sure it's not on a stud. Looks like it's screwed in the front here. That was all annoying to kind of deal with. But we got this thing in there. We grounded it properly. It's actually completely right as far as wiring goes, which can't really say for everything that we're going to be doing here because of just circumstances. But this one is cool. I got some more wiring experience with some help from my dad there. And the reason I wanted to do this in here, just because this is where we were working, and like I said, this one was off, so it just made sense at the time earlier today, is I wanted to test this because this is probably stupid simple and not a big deal and didn't really make any difference whatsoever. But I just really couldn't understand the concept of how this thing with these screw holes was gonna work, compared to the other one where there's just a screw hole in the middle. I didn't know if you needed special, junction. I don't want to touch that. I don't know if you needed certain junction boxes, but it was really funny because we were putting this in. It was a real pain in the ass because this box is just weird. It's up there, that has these little things up here and down here. They were kind of getting in the way a little bit. We had to take out some of the wall to try to push this back a little. And then I spackled it. All in all, it doesn't really matter because it's going to look fine. I'm just going to throw this, get this damn thing on there. I'm just going to throw that back on there. I'm going to paint around, the pieces again there. And it's going to look great. So what I would say is this was a job well done. Nice little testage. Every single thing in this house, every outlet is going to look like this when we're done with it here. Because I just bought one, but I'm gonna buy a multi-pack now to save some money. So we're over in the office here. We haven't done too much since yesterday when we painted everything, but actually Amanda is on her way here right now. And we're probably going to paint a little bit more, try to touch up, because we just did the main big parts. We didn't cut in or anything, on the sides there and all that. One of the things was I tried to sand this and we just kind of, scuffed it up a little bit. Paint looks like it's coming on fine, laying down fine on the sanded part. But the problem is it also looks like it lays great on the non-sanded part because I guess this paint's just pretty good. I don't know. I don't want it to rip off, but it seems pretty hard to scratch on slightly sanded or not sanded at all. And I think I'm gonna be kind of lazy and probably just not sand this shit because that's kind of where we're at. I don't know. But anyway, over here as well, there's a little bit of bubbling on this this paint here, just from like I guess past moisture or something. I don't know. We'll keep an eye on it. But I just went ahead and I tried to scrape some of it off, just to make it a little flatter. It's not great, but I think that if I just do a little bit more and then we throw some paint over it, should be definitely good enough. We should clean off these windowsills and such, and then again, perhaps paint the wood. I don't know. I really don't want to sand. It was kind of a pain in the ass to use the sander, and I don't know if it's necessary 100%. Somebody's gonna be like, oh yeah, 100%. But I'm telling you, if we go out here and we look at this other shit, if I can get around this ladder, this looks pretty good. And I don't know how easy this is to scratch. I mean, if I took a knife to it, maybe. But I don't know, this bear marquee is no joke. Pretty good. The next thing I talked to my dad quickly about was the hinge situation here. I had a hell of a time putting this in by myself. It was a pain in the ass, and it's kind of like squeaky, and the door doesn't really function 100% properly because I need to drill this in a little bit more because, it's kind of a little bit of an issue there with the screw isn't going all the way in the door. It's kind of stripped out there with hinges, but that is going to look, again, hard as hell with the white and the black hinges. Gonna look nice. Just need to fix that up and then repeat that process on every single other door. But I want to talk about this as well. This doorknob situation. Too small, the doorknob holes. I hate people that built in the 1960s. Just unbelievable. But anyway, I gotta make this doorknob hole bigger, and then I'm probably actually gonna have to chisel out some of this too, if I want to use the exact knobs that we have right now, because it's the depth and all that is just weird. So fun stuff. We're just gonna have to do that on every door. I'm not sure if I showed this yesterday, but I took the cover off of this wall unit. Yuck. I mean, this hasn't been used in a long time, but still yuck. It'll all be out of here though shortly. I'm not gonna go down to the panel, but we did talk about this, my dad and I. We're pretty sure there's nothing running to this. The panel is a little bit of a rat's nest. But as far as this goes and like the way that we kind of saw it down there, pretty sure that we're going to be good to kind of get rid of that and just knock this, kind of pull this thing in, drywall or whatever we have to do on this side. And then on the other side, brick up the exterior wall. This is going to be so nice to not have this in here anymore. It's quite the eyesore on this big wall over here. Okay. So now let's talk about where we spent most of our time today so far, and that is in an attic. Yeah, our attic. So I haven't shown the attic yet. I talked about it a little bit, I think, in a different one, but it's an interesting, setup and look and use of space and everything, because in this house there is boiler heat, right? So there's, radiators on the edges of the rooms, and water runs through those. It gets heated up in the boiler, runs through the whole house, and that's how we get our heat. There's no ductwork, like central ductwork running through the floors or the walls or anything like that. It is boiler heat, and added after the fact, while Amanda's family was living here, is an air handler, like an air conditioner outside, an air handler upstairs in the attic where I'm at here. I'll show you in a second. And yeah, I mean, it's, I don't know. I can't really speak to the quality of it as far as like, how well it air conditioned the house. I heard that it wasn't very good. And from the times I was here, I can't really tell you. Honestly, I never really noticed too much. However, what I can say is that my dad is a seasoned veteran in the HVAC industry. And from everything that he said about this so far, just us being up here and kind of playing around with it, it's a shitty installation. So, maybe it makes sense that, maybe the quality of the actual, air conditioning was not great, because there's things that need insulated that aren't insulated, and this, that, and the other thing, and, all sorts of shit that I don't really understand, but I'm asking a lot of questions and trying to understand more. So a lot of hoopla there, but all I want to show you here is I want to show you kind of the lay of the land here up in the attic, because this is going to look way different in, I can't tell you how long of a time frame, however long it takes for me and my dad to get this done. But I was up in the attic today specifically too, at more than I've ever been in an attic, especially of this size. And it's not super small, but it's a pain in the ass to get around. So I'm gonna kind of show you what we're kind of working on, show you some of the things that we're kind of laying out here. And I will probably have to move that light because it's a pain in the ass. It's really like right in the way here. Okay, light has been moved. Let me try to explain here. So our attic goes all the way down to where that light is right there above my finger. I think the house is like 37 by 26 or something like that. That's close, I don't know. But we got our lengthwise there. It goes over, and it's just like it's not actually a very steep roof. You know, and it's not super tall up here. Like, it's not super high up here. The height, you definitely cannot stand. You could probably kneel. I mean, we were kind of crawling down that way, and this way is a little bit more of a bitch to kind of get through, but we were doing that. There's the air handler. We'll talk about that. Let's swing back over here. Not as much light over here right now, but we have a solution, and we're going to kind of deal with some stuff there. Let me just try to run down what we're going to try to do up here. Okay, so the first couple things that we've done was my dad already added that little outlet right there. That's awesome. As far as the electrical stuff, you know, the power and everything comes up from here, from that switch that we were talking about down there that turns on the lights. There's that outlet right there. There's a light right above that. Those lights that are hanging there are just temporary, those yellow things. However, when those are all gone and we're done working, the situation that we'll have is we'll have the outlet, we'll have a light here, we'll have a light over there somewhere where that wire is, and we'll have 2 more down there. So total 4 lights, you know, just kind of down the truss of the roof, I think that's what it's called. And those will be operated along with that outlet via the switch downstairs. Pretty dope setup, because if I ever need to come up here, sorry, it's very weird. I think that might have been Amanda pulling up, and there's these vents over here, and this house makes a lot of weird ass noises. Anywho, yep, that was definitely Amanda pulling up. And I don't know if you can hear that on camera. I hope you can. But that is the garage. We're getting a belt driven thing, because chain operated is terrible. Anyway, let me finish what I was saying here. So we have those all in the switch there and everything. This is our air handler. The returns are over here. There's another return that I just taped up over there. There's some supply lines on the other side. And the whole thing needs like insulated a little bit more, like this metal piece right here. I'm not going to go too deep into the attic right now because I just don't feel like it, because it's a pain in the ass. I was crawling around here, luckily with knee pads, because if you don't have knee pads, I don't know how the hell you're doing this. But we're going to take care of all the air handler stuff. It's going to look way different. We're going to have probably new return lines here. I'll show you all, like, I took off all the registers and everything like that in the ceilings down in the rooms. And then we're going to do all that. We're going to deal with any sort of like supply. I don't really think we're going to touch too much of the supply stuff. What I would love to do once we're kind of done with that, well, another big thing that we have to do is on this side of the attic is the living room. No overhead lighting. I've talked about this before. Stupid builders in the 1960s. We won't get into it. But anyway, I want to get at least 2 lights on that, and there'll probably be like one close here because the living room is lengthwise that way on that wall. Probably somewhere where this, like right past this light, where the you can see the little blue of the plywood or whatever over there, OSB, and then probably somewhere further down by that insulation. At least 2 lights. We'll deal with that when time comes or whatever, but some sort of overhead lighting we'll need to deal with over there. There is a bathroom fan. I don't know if we need to do anything, but it's somewhere over in this area. I'm just trying to think of the things in the ceiling. I don't think there's too much other stuff that I can remember, but this is our big project here. We're going to try to probably, you know, not really upgrade per se. It's going to be the same thing and everything, but just to make sure, because there's a lot of weirdness, a lot of shoddiness. For instance, those PVC pipes that, if you can, maybe I could zoom in for you. Those PVC pipes right there. There's a pan underneath here. One is condensation that goes, one of those PVC pipes is condensation that goes down into the, like down through the coat closet. I think I've shown that before, and then goes outside. And the other one follows it. The one from the pan follows it and just gets cut off right in the coat closet. So that's neat. That it just gets cut off there. But anyway, you know, just some of those types of things, just kind of, you know, more insulation, you know, better runs or whatever, cleaning it up here and there, and hopefully it increases efficiency and just makes it nicer in here in the summertime. Other than getting some trash out of this attic, I'm probably not going to do too much work up here by myself. It's more of a tag team because I don't know what the hell I'm doing up here. But I will definitely keep you updated, and remember what this looks like, because it's going to look way better The last thing I forgot to mention is we're definitely gonna, and this is something I could probably do more so, is just nail some wood when we're done with all like the upper, the upper ceiling fixtures, like all the air handler stuff and anything in the ceiling. We're gonna put some wood down so we can actually walk on this properly, because right now the wood's just like scattered all over the place. And this spot over here, kind of in this area, where there will be a light and everything, it's a nice place for storage if we ever need some. So that's our plan. Let's just see how it goes. Hello. It is 9:50. I think the last clip was around like 6 or so. And I was up in the attic, obviously, you know that. And I was going through all that, and then Amanda came, and we ate some sheets. And then we came back in here to the office, is what it's gonna be, and we tried to paint a bunch of stuff because we painted yesterday, but like, we rolled the walls and there was still, you could still see some gray that was on the wall before. So we did all that, took care of that yesterday, came back here today, and I mean, we worked on it, and it's looking pretty good now. It's kind of like a little bit more dry. She left, I don't know, probably around like 9 or so. I'll give you an update here. I'm just extremely tired. That's why I'm laying right now on the drop cloth covered bed. Couldn't tell you exactly why I'm exhausted. We had daylight savings time end today, so I got an extra hour of sleep, but I just been going all day. So I want to show you this. I want to show you a little bit what we've done just to document this painting process, which is a pain in the ass. There's a lot of, square footage, I guess, wall square footage to paint. It's a lot, and still the trim is kind of messing with me, so let's take a look at it. All right, so we're definitely whiter on the walls than we were before we started here today. There was a lot of gray. I tried to do the top edge there. There's definitely still a little bit of problems here and there, but we are starting to see much less of the color below. So yeah, like spots like over here kind of need to touch up again, but it's looking better than it was, so that's great. So we did all that, and then I tried to do a little bit more of this trim here, but I don't know if I'm gonna, I don't know, because it was sanded, and we had this discussion, and I tried to sand a little bit of this door, and I don't know. I really don't want to sand because it's extra time and it's extra effort, and I don't want to do that because there's a lot of freaking wood. And then, okay, so then this though, so I went on and I was like, all right, let's just clean these windows really well, which is wood, but it's not like a stained glossy trim. It's like it seems like it's actual wood. Obviously you can't really see it that well, but it's not like really slippery. It's more like a wood. This door is like a lot more, shiny and glossy in places. So I was like, fuck it, let's do it. And I mean, it's gonna probably come out just the same as the other one, which looked fine. So yeah, that's where we're at here. I'm doing this and I'm trying to get inside the edges there. I don't want to open this window though, because bugs are gonna come in. But yeah, so that's where we're at. We are almost, sort of done there. And then over here, I did the same, cleaned it up, and it's a little less done, but that's where we're at on that one. So we're just gonna, again, paint her white. Gotta do some spackling up there. So Amanda painted the closet in here. She rolled the walls like up and above that's like the, the curtain or the rod thing for the clothes. We took the rod out. We're gonna get a black rod, or I'm not sure exactly what we're gonna do in this closet in general, because this is the office. But we're gonna do something. We took that rod out for now just to make it easier to paint. That was a brown, thing there, brown wood. Painted the walls. Just got to do some touch-up work again, like cut in from the corners. And I didn't paint the ceiling, so got to paint that ceiling, and then this ceiling is pretty messed up in certain places. So I got to double back and do all that. We're working, I don't know. It's just kind of getting tiresome at this point. It's just a lot of work, especially the painting. The painting isn't even bad. Like, it's the sanding thing's kind of fucking with me, but I did that whole other room without sanding. I kind of just want to keep going. Just don't know if that's a good idea or not, but It's not like hard. Painting isn't really hard. It's just so goddamn time consuming. Even when you don't have to like worry about getting shit all over the floor, because we obviously don't, because we're just doing whatever we want. But it's crazy. So I don't know. That's kind of the update. I don't know. Maybe I'll do a little bit more tonight. Maybe not. I don't know. We shall see. It's late as hell. Probably like 11:30 or something like that. And this camera's gonna die. So just a quick little thing here. All right, I decided that I don't think I did too much more right here on this one, but this is what I decided to do. I took this little sander thing, which doesn't fit on the sander very well, so I just like kind of hand did it. And I went in here and I touched up a little bit on the top and stuff, but I went down here to the baseboard. I started there. I just gave it a little quick sand and then a little wipe down. And I started, you know, through like the first coat, I guess, of paint on that or whatever. And then I did the same on the whole door jamb here, all the way up. I hit it with the sandpaper a little bit just to, you know, kind of scuff it a little. And then hit it with the rag. And I don't know. Hopefully it's fine. Hopefully it's good. It's not going to be as good as a, you know, as a like a actual power sander would be, but I don't want to deal with that. And then I also painted the door, so I kind of sanded that a little bit, roughed it up, did the inside and then the outside edge and then the other side. Obviously it gets like this on the first coat. I don't know how to deal with that. I think I touched up those a little bit more too. They're not done. I don't know, just the whole game here, obviously time consuming. But that's where we're at. I'm gonna go back to my parents' house and fall asleep because I'm very tired and will probably be here tomorrow.